Welcome to the Slow Living Podcast. If you are ready to ditch hustle culture for good while continuing to meet your personal and professional goals, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Stephanie O'Day, and I work with overachievers from all over the world who are ready to stop living life in triage mode and start living the life of their dreams, one filled with abundance, joy, and a sense of purpose. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. Let's get started. Hey there, Slow Down Society. Steph here, and we are on episode 231 of the Slow Living Podcast, and we are back with Shelly, and this is going to be our fourth coaching session. So if you haven't listened to the Shelly series, go back a few episodes and start at the beginning and let her tell you her story in her own words. Shelly is fascinating and lovely and wonderful. And I'm just so thankful that we get to have new perspectives and voices on the podcast. And I'm so thankful that she was brave enough to be vulnerable and open and share her story with us. From week to week, you hear me talk to people and guide them through the transformation that they want to make. This isn't something that I'm forcing onto them. This is not a one size fits all anything. This is asking really deep, open-ended questions and letting people figure out for themselves what the next best step for themselves to take is. That said, I do give worksheets and I give homework and different things like that. And I hold people accountable. And the homework is usually because people want to be held accountable and ask me about the homework. And so for this episode, I want to share what last week's homework was for Shelly, so you know where I'm leading her towards. So we have a shared Google Doc that we write back and forth on. And I asked her to work on cleaning out her master closet. I wanted her to book doctor appointments and lab work. I wanted her to make a plan of attack for the garage with the idea that uncovered treasures will get given to relatives and or friends for Christmas gifts. We are going to brainstorm and daydream about what Shelly's Hallmark Christmas looks like, and we'll talk about that. I wanted her to consider watching the Blue Zones Live to 100-Year docuseries on Netflix. And I wanted her to continue to check in with me as much as possible. And that's really the biggest takeaway is I don't want you to ever think that you are alone. There are people out there. There are people like me. There are friends. There are family members who you can chat with on an ongoing basis and who can say, hey, yesterday you said you were going to do this. How did that go? And find those people in your real life. In my real life, my friend Jennifer, we talk every day on the phone. And so I'll say, oh, hey, yesterday you were worried about this particular meeting. How did it go? We bring that up. Maybe this is with your significant other or your spouse or your own family. Everyone has someone different. And if you don't, reach out to me. I'm here and this is what I do. And you can hear me in action with Shelly. But for right now, here is the beginning of our first part of session 4 with Shelly. Hi, Shelly. How have you been?
It's been a great 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since you and I got to
Yeah.
chat. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm just getting over a little bit of a bug. But other than that, I've had a productive 2 weeks. I'm feeling pretty accomplished. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
And
nice.
that feels
Okay.
good.
All right, walk me through it.
Well, I started getting onto a regular walking schedule. So my goal is 2 to 3 days per week of at least 2 miles each time. So I met with my girlfriend one time at the zoo. I met with my sister at the zoo, which was really nice. And then again, my sister and I went to local farmers market, which is huge. And and it was hot. So I feel like that was like not only a good 2 miles that we, clocked, but we also got like a sauna as well because it was just stinking hot that day. So that's been good. And my sister walks a lot, and so we are planning, different days that we can both get together in the morning before work, in different locations, some different trails and stuff around town. So that feels good to be back on a walking schedule and to just, be moving.
Yeah. That's
So
fantastic. So right now you have an annual pass to the zoo so you can go whenever?
yes, yeah. So I have a pass to the zoo and then a pass also to Balboa Park. So, which is we like to go there a lot as well because it's just beautiful up there to walk.
Okay. And when you're walking for the 2 miles, um, I mean, are you navigating through tourists and different things, or how's it work?
No, because um, it just you just have to be cognizant of the time of day you go. When we go to the zoo, we go the minute it opens. And generally speaking, like when we were there the other morning, it was a ghost town. People tend by the time we left, I mean it was people were like creeping after us in their cars waiting for our parking spot. So I
Yeah.
mean by the time we left, it's you cannot wade through the crowds. But even if there is it's the zoo is big enough and the paths are wide enough, you're,
Yeah, I love this idea. And I think you're probably really being inspirational for quite a few people who say, well, I can't walk in my town because there's no sidewalks, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. And you found a way to make it happen. And it's certainly less expensive than joining a gym with a monthly fee.
yeah, I like to be outdoors and I like to, and yeah, and I definitely have a non-walkable neighborhood. I live in just there not only is there no sidewalks, but the roads are narrow, they're windy, and I live on the side of a mountain. So it's very so until I'm in better shape, I
Yeah.
can go down the hill, but getting back up would be dicey. So yeah, so it's just yeah, the parks, and there's also our next track. Is going to be down at the high school
Yeah.
because there's a sidewalk around the entire high school, and we've measured that out, and that's about 3.5 miles, but it's flat. So,
Yeah.
when we get our walk on and get to, catch up and complain about our parents and that
That's
good stuff.
great. That's great. So talk to me about your parents. How's your dad? How has his hobby been
Ugh.
of making medical appointments?
I really am just more and more pulling myself away from I am not his medical person, right? So it's not my, he still takes care of himself, and I'm just trying to, um, when I talk to him and say, like this morning, I'll be sending him a text. How are you feeling? How are you doing? He's still healing on his head from his surgery from his skin cancer. Um, because he just tends to, get wrapped into this. He's dying. So I'm just trying to be more just, okay, great. Let me know if you need anything.
Hmm.
Or because I try to text it, I'm getting ready, and I'm learning more how to deal with him, and basically it's like if I know I'm going to the grocery store, I will text him when I get into the parking lot of the grocery store and say I'm about to walk in. Is there anything you need? And I'll
Yeah.
drop it off on my way home, or else he'll could spend the whole day thinking of things he needs and things he needs me to do.
Okay. Um, is your dad dying?
No, not any more than I mean, he does have cancer,
Hmm.
but he has had this cancer for 30 plus years. It's
Okay.
very slow growing. He takes an injection every month that prevents the tumor from ever.
Okay.
So every year. So yes, in a sense he is, but
Yeah. Does he have anyone he can talk to outside of you about?
um no, and it would probably be, I never thought about that. I mean, he probably should. I mean, wow. He probably should because I'm sure he has. I know he suffers from some sort of depression. He's so isolated. I mean, I check him out, and I'm trying to plan things where it's not focused around his health.
Yeah.
I took him to an ice cream social just to get him out. And then I said, let's go in, we have a really cute old fashioned hardware store in our town and they just remodel. I said, let's go into Peyton's and let's see what they've done. And, plus
Hmm.
they have, you get like a little free bag of popcorn whenever you walk in. So I'm trying to do things like that. And then when he is feeling better, because he did also just have both of his feet reconstructed. So I can get him to go walk.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, you
Yeah,
know,
no, I mean, it's interesting because I like you, so I want to care for you and make sure that your boundaries are protected and he's not dumping on you. But also, I don't know if there's a support group in the area or a senior center where he can just go and chill and drink coffee and
yeah, well,
commiserate.
he's super antisocial. I will tell
Yeah.
you that. And so it's hard. It's funny because it's like he has an older brother who's I think he just turned 96, who just recently got married, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he goes dancing, he's paints, da, 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 da. So had wanted to move, he's out of state. He had wanted to move down here a few years back and rent with share a place with my dad. My dad was so against it, and his reasoning was because, him, he's going to want to start uh, karaoke night. And it's just, I'm like, well, yeah, why do you think he's so healthy at 90, in his 90s? But he was like, no, no, he's gonna want to like be around people.
That's
So,
funny.
but I do, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that he does probably just like to dump on me because, and I mean I should know this because he doesn't have a lot of interaction. He doesn't like his neighbors. He doesn't like
Hmm.
this, and so when I go over there even to drop something off, it's he and then I fight because I think I should just sit down and chat, but it's a lot.
No, it is a lot, and a lot of times elderly people, when they do have someone or some sort of captive audience, they prolong it, but like, oh, could you just check this light bulb, or oh, while you're here, can you just do this? And so
Yes.
like a 10-minute drop in turns into an ordeal. So I completely and totally understanding you wanting to limit your exposure because it's exhausting. Your so your dad's pretty introverted. Would you classify yourself as introverted or extroverted?
I'm probably definitely more extroverted. I've always had jobs dealing with people, and I don't have trouble, and he actually makes that comment all the time, and because sometimes we have to be on calls together when I'm dealing with his health care, especially if he can't get things answers that he needs because he's grumpy and they don't want to talk to you. So he always makes comments about whenever we're out together because I talk to people.
Yeah.
So but I just always try to be friendly. And
Hmm.
so I guess I am. I just never really thought about it, even though I always try to claim I'm not a people person, but I can talk to anybody. I don't
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I just,
So one of the homework assignments, I mean, we haven't met in a few weeks because you were sick and then I was traveling. The I had asked you to kind of write out um a bit of a daydream, like Shelly in her 70s, Shelly in her 80s. And now that you have these examples of your dad and his brother, I wondered, one, if you had done that, and two, if watching them has sort of helped shape what you want or don't want.
oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be like Uncle Leon. And also like my mom. My mom is very active. Um, in fact, we just I dragged her off to the flower arranging class. I told you it sounded fun. We had such a good time. Made beautiful flower arrangements. It was so, and my mom had been sick for a couple of weeks. So it was nice to get her out because she's super healthy, but so she got really sick for a while. And so it was nice to get her out and about and get back into our schedule. I'm used to doing things with my mom
Hmm.
yeah, almost weekly. And my mom has a green thumb. She's always out in the garden. Um, she sews, she quilts. She's,
Does your mom and your dad have any contact with each other?
yeah, but oops, that just made me laugh. They do. He's still bitter. I will tell you that. They got divorced back in the 60s and he's still a little bitter.
Okay.
But my mom can be a little spicy. So I have to just be careful when I talk to her about my dad because she will have no qualms about picking up the phone and saying, "You need to stop. She doesn't have time with us. She worked, and then he'll
Hmm.
get mad. And I think she called him one time. He's like, "Don't call me again." But he knows in a pinch, she will go down and pick him up and drive him somewhere. So yeah, they do have some contact, not a lot, but yeah, she's always and I have she's always going, well, you can tell him that I'll come take care of him. I'm like, oh, I'm sure he'll love that. But my mom's a very caring person. I mean, so she always talked to all of her exes.
Hmm. Sounds very soap opera. All of her exes.
Yes. Well, she had a couple, but so yeah, she always had relationships, even if they were the worst husbands, but they could be like a good friends to us as adult children and whatnot. But so they do and they don't. I
Hmm.
prefer like as long as I'm careful, like I said, because she'll get spicy and she'll call and yell at him and say you're putting too much stress on your daughter. Back off.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Kelsey. You may remember me from the real life coaching sessions. It's been a while since I did my coaching, and I'm happy to report that I'm still thriving. I could say so many wonderful things about how my life has changed for the better and how I finally built confidence in myself. But what I really want to talk about is the podcast itself. I was really struggling to find myself, and I was wondering how to make everything just slow down. So I literally Googled it, and slow living popped up. The Slow Living podcast was my first step into Stephanie's world of ditching hustle culture for good, and I haven't looked back. The coolest part of the podcast is being able to look up whatever is going on with me and finding an episode. Stephanie really hits all aspects of life, and I'm always feeling better after listening. I can't even tell you how many times I've listened to the episode dealing with disappointment to help me through a hard day. I remember crying the first few times because I had felt so alone before. And yet here was Stephanie telling me I'm not alone and that I'm wonderful and she loves me. So give it a listen and know that Stephanie and I think you're wonderful too.
I like that she has your back and she
Oh yeah.
advocates for you. That's
Yeah,
sweet.
she is feisty.
That's funny. Very cool. All right. It looks like in these past 2 weeks you've made some medical appointments.
I have. So I got the labs. I'm still waiting. I just paid for my new health insurance. And then I just called on getting a mammogram. I'm just going to a local, where you can get it for free until my health insurance is completely in place. Um, and then I ordered the labs just from one of the online places. So I'll just go down to a local lab and then the Everly, then they just analyze it for you. Which I like that because when you use one of these independent companies, even though it's a little bit more expensive, not that much more though. Um, they'll just do everything. They're not going to question you. They just go, oh, you want these labs? Boom, 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 do it. You
Great.
know.
Good.
So so I'm getting that in place. That took a little bit more backseat to because I got into major purge mode when we talked. Well,
Yeah. So what'd you end up cleaning?
my master closet, I sent you a picture, but after that picture, I ended up, I think, filling up two more bags.
Okay.
I've got all of my clothes, I still could go in and purge more, but I've got my clothes organized. Um, by it just, and so now I can see, and now that there's so much less, and that's been like a little over a week, but now I can see what section of the closet I go to and what I'm putting on every day. So I
Okay.
know, so the stuff that I was unsure of, I'm like, I'm not even drawn to that, so that's got to go. So I need
Okay.
to do more of that. But the closet situation,
Okay. How long did that take?
that literally only, I thought it was going to take so much longer. I probably only worked on it 2 hours.
Oh, that's awesome. And how long have
So,
you been worried about it?
for months,
Okay.
because I thought that I was going to have a full day. And then literally, I think it was 2 hours because I just started pulling everything out and I got rid of all the old raggedy hangers. So I could only use those nice, thin, you know, felt or velvet covered ones because I have got all these, mishmash of store hangers and dollar store plastic hangers that are just not even worth the trouble. So, yeah, so I just started getting rid of stuff and then organizing stuff on the top of my closet. Yeah, it just felt good.
Oh, that's great.
And then I just told my husband, I said, and he was super happy to just be able to shove a bunch of stuff in the back. I mean, the whole back of my car was just, and I just went and dropped it off.
Okay. And
So,
the drop-off center was fine. They just took it all?
oh yeah,
Great.
yeah. So, yeah, I know all of the ins and outs now and what they take and what they don't take. And I know they're so picky these days, though. Like if they see dust on something, we can't take this. And I always thought that was part of the gig was like because they hired people that would clean the stuff and maybe do fix it up before they put it on the shelf. No, not anymore. They want it ready to put on the shelf.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
super interesting. So now I know. So I told my husband, I said, no, that cannot go. It's got to be dusted first. He said, why? I'm all
Okay.
no.
So speaking of him, what about the garage?
So he's super excited about that because we have a 2-car garage and then it has a step up to where it's a longer than a normal. So you could technically, if there was nothing in there, you could fit 2 cars. And then there's a step up, and it's actually like where we have our laundry area and some cabinets in our refrigerator. So I got and that upper area is just a mess because it becomes a catch-all.
Hmm.
And the refrigerator was where we're having some issues, and so I was kind of forced into dealing with that because he was home and he called the fridge repair guy who came and worked on it. So it was open, we had to pull everything out and which was good because it forced me to focus and I had to go do something in there. So that refrigerator now, my 5-year-old Kenmore runs
Yeah.
like a dream. It's clean, it's organized. I got all the beverages, I got all the little can holders
Okay.
for that. Cleaned out all of the just got rid of a bunch of stuff and I'm still getting rid of more. So I made a good dent in that and then I will continue that this weekend.
Okay.
And that felt good to him as well because it's just when you walk out now, it's a nice open space and you can walk directly over to what we call it the beverage center,
Yeah.
the garage refrigerator. And it's so nice and clean. And I already told him, I said, the whole top of the refrigerator, I'm all, nothing goes up here. No more just stacking everything where it became this leaning tower of pizza.
Yeah. Well,
So,
good. That's got to feel really like just
yeah.
gratifying.
And I had to get that stuff cleared out because the behind that on these countertops and cabinets is where all the stuff that I need to go through that belongs to all my family was beyond that. So I couldn't even get to it. But now I can.
Hmm.
So that'll be the next step.
Yeah. Um, I wanted to ask you because you like projects and you like doing things, but then you also wrote that you want to work on not feeling like you have to be busy all the time. So I wanted to ask you a little bit what you meant, and then uh like peace and calm. Like how does if you were to be like truly at peace, what would your days be like?
I do like projects, but I feel I've got so many projects that need to be done, and sometimes I just you get caught up in the minutia. Like that's why it was nice to dive into the garage
Hmm.
because it's like you walk by and you see the light switch plate and it looks grimy, and I start cleaning on that, and then I got to do all the light switch plates in the. It's
Yeah.
just,
Did you enjoy that process? Like, were you in the zone and you felt really like, oh,
yes.
this is fun? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once I start, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is that peace?
Yes. When I'm feeling, well, yes. When I'm feeling like I'm accomplishing something, it's very peaceful.
Okay.
Then I also, I spent some time on the weekends too. Just we have a little above ground pool, and it's been hot out here, and I just been floating in there. Turn on my music and float.
Hmm. Does that feel peaceful?
It feels good, but it's hard for me once I'm out there. Yes, but the thought that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go out and float in the pool. Yeah, there's so much to be done here.
Okay.
It is
So
trying to get out of
does
that
floating,
mindset.
yeah. Does floating in the pool feel lazy?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like that should be a reward for having accomplished something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can you kind of gamify the situation and so you can feel accomplished by, well, honestly, by the bare minimum of feeling accomplished, so then you can reward yourself. Like what would that be like?
I guess, because I Saturday afternoons and Sunday afternoons is when I like to float in the pool. So it's just having my just the basic chores done.
Hmm.
But of course, too, going in the pool after I was all grimy and cleaning the garage felt really good. You know,
Yeah. So I know you had filled out like a time blocking worksheet. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's funny. It's sideways. So on on your schedule, you have this like very full morning routine with cleaning this, checking this, cleaning this, and then you're working. And then the afternoon is more like check on this, make dinner, clean this, clean that, and that kind of stuff. But you haven't actually scheduled in pool floating time or sitting and stretching and listening to my audiobook time.
I really just need to put that in there. I mean, it
Well,
would be nice. I mean, I would like to have time after work to schedule to come in and craft, um,
yeah. Okay. So
work on my
crafting
scrapbooks.
does crafting and scrapbooking that feels like a reward?
Oh yeah. And I just feel like I've been neglecting it. I mean, it's such a joy for me because I do it for my relatives, and I'm working on my niece's baby book. I scrapbook my nieces and I'm building up these scrapbooks for them, and it's fun. And I feel like as so often it's like by the time I'm just finding I don't have time, and I have this entire room, this floor to ceiling supplies,
Mm-hmm.
and a nice table with a TV in here. I can watch my Hallmark movie. So really just
Mm-hmm. Is there a specific like day of the week that can be designated for a couple hour block?
I could make that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why not? Why couldn't I?
Yeah. Well, so it's interesting because if you schedule it in like the way you would schedule in an appointment or a weekly exercise class, like every Wednesday from 7 to 8, I've signed up for this class. So I'm going to do it because I don't want to waste the money. And I said I was going to do it. Is that a possibility
I'm
to
gonna
kind
do that.
of, okay.
I I don't know why I haven't thought of that because I live and die by my lists and my, but I never thought to schedule in, you know, fun
Yeah,
stuff.
fun, fun. Well, so that's the thing. I mean, we live in a society that glorifies busy as a bee and being productive and feeling accomplished and like
Yeah.
all of the other stuff is play. But when you're looking towards like the idea of a life well lived, and so you look at your dad and you look at your uncle Leon and see the things that they do or don't do, and then the idea of what you want to do and not want to do. You don't want to work yourself to death.
No, not at all.
Do you
Not
ever
at
have
all.
a feeling like if magical fairies came in and cleaned the garage for you or did this stuff for you, it would be a relief, or would you rather do it yourself?
Um, I'm kind of up and down on that because yes, it would be great, but then part of me would be like, I really need to check on those magic fairies and make sure that they're not, what do they got in there?
Would it feel
Um,
like it was cheating if somebody did it for you?
no,
Oh, okay. So
no,
it's
I
not
don't
like
think
you
so.
have to have the hard work. So it could happen even if you didn't do it and you would still feel happy about it, or do you
Yeah.
want that sense of accomplishment?
No, I don't think so. It's just like when I have somebody come in every Monday and do some basic cleaning for me. Um, Nothing heavy because I can't afford that, and I learned quickly because one of the big things is if she unloaded my dishwasher and things weren't put, and you know what? I just let it go. And I don't know how, because it was like I can stress over and come in because I can't find something. But then I just started thinking in my head, no, you just got to be happy that you didn't have to unload that dishwasher this morning and you had that extra few minutes before you. So I can let other people do stuff. It can be difficult. I sometimes have a fight in my head because I'm just like, oh, this isn't done exactly the way I want it. But I gotta, I can't be in that
Hmm.
because then my house would be total chaos because I don't have time to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what's interesting is you're not living in filth. You
No,
have a lot of things, but you know that it's clean and you actually have someone who comes and helps to ensure that.
yes,
So yeah, I would suggest you scheduling in things for fun for no reason. And it might feel a little selfish. Does it feel selfish when you
it does.
craft? Okay.
It does. And I know what had been happening is I go to a lot of they're called crops, so they're weekend get-togethers where um you go to either people have designated houses that they've turned into craft houses, or the one that I usually go to it's a monthly thing that you can go whenever you want, but you have they take out a whole ballroom in a hotel, and
Hmm.
it's just tables and lights, and you bring your crafting supplies and you just sit and you can craft from 8 in the morning. Sometimes we're up until 2. So you've got a whole weekend of that. And it got to the point where that was the only time I was crafting
Hmm.
was when I went away because there was no distractions of I should be doing this instead.
Yeah.
What should
Yeah.
so
So, but crafting is your hobby. That is what makes you feel fulfilled and it's exciting and you look forward to it. Do you feel refreshed afterwards?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
come home and I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm texting pictures of my husband. I'm like, look at this is the best one I've ever done.
Yeah. Okay. So just to flip it to a different perspective, if a friend of yours was doing the same thing and maybe it wasn't crafting, maybe it was like a yoga retreat or an exercise class or something, you would be excited for them and happy for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so this is your hobby. This is your like in a way religion.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is my temple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to I just I I think I'm gonna try and put it on the schedule this week. I don't know why that didn't occur to me before that I can
Well,
schedule it
yeah.
in.
Well, it's the idea that you feel like you have to earn it. So rest isn't something to earn, and doing something for yourself isn't selfish. It's care. It's taking care of
Yeah,
yourself.
that's true. And then I think the last time we had talked, you had said something about, how like the only time I was resting, like, you just wait until you get sick. And that's why I was thought about that a lot on Monday, because I woke up and I felt so horrible. And then I was like, oh God, what? And then you start thinking, where did this come from? But I was like, but God darn, it felt so good to sleep all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even though I felt horrible, but oh my God, that sleep was and nobody bothered me.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, to flip it, if a friend called and said, "Gosh, Shelly, I'm so run down. I'm just worn out. I just am in the mood to sleep all day." What would you
Yeah, girl,
say?
do it.
Yeah. Listen to your body. Yeah. Stop
Yeah.
fighting it. Stop fighting it and making it seem like it's wrong.
I think that's like a woman thing though, too.
Maybe.
I feel like all the women in my family we just go all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
I look at some of my friends and I get jealous. They're just, what do you mean you're laying outside and getting some sunshine?
Well, yeah. So okay. So if you use that idea of like busy as a bee and go go go, but I mean, and then bees just die. They're just yeah. Yeah. So okay, slow down society. We'll end here, and it's a really good place to end because you've heard me say it before, and I'm going to say it again right now. If you don't slow down on purpose, your body will do it for you. And so Shelly talks about that, about how she had a cold, and so she had no choice. She had to lay in bed all day, and a piece of her felt a little guilty about it, but then also it felt really, really good to listen to her body and give it the rest that our body needed. So think about that when it comes to you. Um, Growing up, not necessarily growing up with my own family, but growing up, I would hear college professors and different people in the beginning stages of my entrepreneurial journey say, "Oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead." Um, and what's fascinating is one of the people who used to say that to me all the time did actually die early. And that's kind of a really freaky thing that wow is just like coming up to me right now while I'm hit record to talk to you. But yeah, the person who used to say that all the time did actually pass away. And I don't want that for anyone. Life is full of ups and downs. You have no idea what's coming down the pike. We all could get hit by a bus tomorrow, but that doesn't mean that you have to cram it all in. If we're lucky, life is long. And I want you to slow down on purpose. If you are able to have a quote unquote sick day preemptively where you can laze around and max and relax before your body forces you into it, you will feel amazing. And that would be my takeaway for you. Look at the calendar, look at your work schedule, figure out how many sick days you're allotted, and then schedule them in here and there, sprinkle them in. You have something to look forward to, and it keeps you from actually getting super sick. Okay, pretty people. As always, I think you're amazing and lovely and wonderful. This absolutely counts as self care, and I am so proud of you. Be back in your earbuds next week. If you are ready to start living slowly and ditch the hustle mindset for good, reach out to me. I'm a real person and you can track me down online at stephanieoday.com. Also, if you found value in this podcast, please share it with your family and friends and tag me on Instagram at Stephanie O'Day. While you're at it, go ahead and leave a positive review on your favorite podcast app. The more we share, the more people we can reach and share the slow down lifestyle and messaging. Thank you, Slow Down Society, and have a great day.